Hi guys, I'm here to do an update on the Contigo Autoseal mug. Now if you watch my previous one you'll see that I did a review of this against a standard typical travel mug, and showing that certainly in my opinion that this particular mug was very much worth the extra money it costs over a standard travel mug. It keeps your drinks hotter, it doesn't spill, and so on. It's certainly worth every penny. But this video today is a bit of an update to let you know that after about 2 years of regular use, and I will specify what that means in just a moment, I've finally managed to break it, and it was entirely my fault. I'll explain how in just a moment. But as you can see from the body, I've dropped this numerous times, as evidenced by the dents and the marks and goodness knows what. It's been dropped several times while I've owned it, and when I say it gets used regularly, it gets used every single working day without fail. Plus most weekends to boot, and any time I go anywhere for a break or a holiday or just a day out, then this mug comes with me. I like my coffee. This keeps it hot for long periods of time, so you're not having to stop and make coffee if you're out hiking and trekking. You're not having to find cafes if you're just out for a day. You know, you've got coffee with you all the time. It's great. Now I managed to break this by doing the typical guy thing of I've got a pile of stuff needing to be carried from the car to the house, and instead of taking 2 trips as any sensible person would, I did the regular guy thing where I just kind of tried to pile everything on top of everything else and take everything all at once. And the mug was sitting on top of the pile of stuff that I had in my hand. It rolled off. It was half full of coffee, adding a bit of ballast and obviously movement as the coffee was sloshing around in there. It fell to the floor and it hit cap first, which clearly flipped that and sheared it. What happened then was it snapped this portion of the cap off, leaving this threaded inside the unit. It's essentially, because this was threaded in and held in, it just snapped it off around the ring there where it's either heat sealed or glued or whatever it is. And realistically it's not repairable for obvious reasons. If I only used it for cold drinks, I would consider super gluing it, provided I only used it for cold drinks and it was only used, it was mainly being kept upright. However, using it for hot drinks, I just simply wouldn't risk it. Super glue. It could separate and of course coffee all over yourself, so that's not an option. But the main reason I'm doing this video is to show you the inner workings, because this is an ideal opportunity to do so. Obviously I wouldn't have gone and deliberately broken this because they're not the cheapest thing, but because it's broken I may as well show you how the whole thing works inside, and hopefully I can dispel this ridiculous myth that the inner workings of these mugs are really hard to clean and collect grunge and muck and what have you, and they grow mould and goodness knows what else, and numerous other things I've read, because I've never had a problem cleaning mine. At the end of a working day it's had 2 or 3 hot drinks in it. It gets rinsed with washing up liquid and hot water, or dish soap as you American guys would call it, and then it gets blasted through, shaken and blasted through while it's upended to blast through the nozzles, and it then gets filled with hot water and flushed through with that, and it then is left to stand to air dry for use the next day. Once every 2 or 3 months it will get thrown in your dishwasher, the cap, just to give it a bit of a clean. And I've never ever had a problem with any kind of build-up in the 2 years that I've owned this mug. This, you can see there's a little bit of sort of discoloration on this plastic here, where it's obviously been much more in contact with the hot stuff. But this, all I've done with this is rinsed it. This has not been washed out at all since I dropped it the other day. It was literally, I came in, I threw the remainder of the coffee, and it was just rinsed out with hot water. And that's it. And you can see how clean this is. Now the inner workings of this are plastic stainless steel for the springs and silicone for the seals. You have the switch there which operates a plunger with a stainless steel spring and a silicone seal there at the back. This leads to the air vent that you can see here, and that plunger pushes this little fork here. You've got the red silicone seal of the actual drinking portion, your mouthpiece, and then two stainless steel springs that this pivots on. So that plunger pushes that and opens your mouthpiece, and as you release that, it pulls back, seals the air vent and seals the mouthpiece at the same time. Then the other silicone seal is the one that seals around the cup itself, just there. So you can see, looking at that, that there is no reason that this would be either impossible or even hard to clean. If you were particularly paranoid, you could get yourself a little bottle brush with one of those 90-degree bends and just give it a bit of a twizzle around in there every once in a while. But the only way you'd get anything growing inside here is if you left a drink in here for several days, a sugary one or something similar. And even then it would still be easy enough to clean out. There's just frankly, the more I read about these things, the more ridiculous it sounds, especially having seen the inner workings now. So that's the purpose of this video, just to show you that. I'm upset, of course, about breaking the thing. It's incredibly annoying because I absolutely love this mug. It's the best travel mug I've ever had. The next question is, will I replace it? Yes I will. And the question then is, what will I replace it with? Well, to be perfectly honest, I've not even bothered looking around for alternatives. I'll be replacing it with another one of these, without question. Maybe not the same colour, maybe one of the newer type which has a slightly wider button with a locking feature. I'm not hugely concerned about that because in all the time I've had it, I've only ever spilled drink once, and it was rested in between my legs there and the car seat. It fell over and just happened to press the button briefly, and I had a little spill of coffee onto my trouser leg, which was a little uncomfortable, but that's the only time it's done it. So maybe I'll go for one of those with the locking buttons, maybe not, but whichever way, I'll be replacing it with another one of these. So I hope you found that useful. Thank you for watching.